Missed you guys too. It's been too long since we've seen you at the mic, Don. Welcome back.
Oh, there we go.
So Don's with us. We have a short agenda for today. Welcome to The Thing About Cars. I'm one of our hosts, Mickey Desai. Around the table, we've got Dave Pauly. How are you, sir?
I am well, thank you. I'm excited to be back with you.
Yes, it's fantastic. Misty, how goes it?
Short.
Don, how are you, Don?
I am great. It's an orange day, and I'll talk about that later. Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to get into that. And last but not least, trivia czar Tim. How are you, Tim?
Doing well. Cool and dry. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. I hope everybody fared the storms in Georgia okay.
Seriously.
For the listener, yeah, we don't know when this is going to go out, but the listener, it was Helene that was here just in the last 48 hours, and it was a scary experience for a lot of us, but I think we're all okay. Tim, you have trivia for us today?
I do. Let's go to the world of our fine third U.S. automaker. How many late model Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge products have a safe hold feature? What is that? Is it A, a compartment in the floor behind the driver's seat for securing valuables, including handguns? B, an electric parking brake automatically engages if the computer decides the vehicle is unattended and at risk of rolling away? C, feature typically known as hill assist. This feature keeps the vehicle from rolling backwards while the car is on a hill and the driver is moving their foot from the brake to the throttle pedal. Or D, a dash light and chime warn that at least one of the driver's hands is not exerting 10 kilograms of grip strength on the steering wheel.
I don't know which is true, but I wish C was, at least in my Jeep Wrangler, because I cannot tell you the number of people I have tried to teach to drive a stick in the Jeep who have blown out my catalytic converter, panicking as the car has started to roll backwards. It's like I have a new policy. If you want me to teach you how to drive a stick in the Jeep, you have to pay me $2,500 because that's how much the new catalytic converter costs.
Are you just trying to set up my quarterly rant on all this driver assist crap and Dawn left us?
We lost Dawn. What happened, Dawn?
No. Oh.
And she's back.
Oh my God! I had a moment of panic. No, I mean, seriously, Dave, are you trying to set up my quarterly rant on driver assist and how it's the root of all evil?
No, we are not trying to set that up. Absolutely not. We are not trying to set that up.
As opposed to the bi-weekly, semi-monthly, and annual rants.
Yeah, I think I've got it on my calendar for late 2025. Is the next time
I have here my notebook of Misty's rants.
Right.
Today is September 29th. No, you're not due for that rant today.
You're not due for that rant. So, Misty, I have something else that'll set you off, but we're not going to let it because this is another book from our friends at Quarto Publishing that we're going to interview the author of 60 Years of Ford.
I'll allow it because it has historical significance, even though Henry Ford was a word I'm not going to say here out loud and in public.
There's a chance, and I'm not going to promise this, but there's a chance we may get Becca back to talk to us about this development because Double C Becca is a major Mustang aficionado, and she helped us kick off the thing about cars once upon a time some years ago. So I might try to get her back to come and give her the book at the end. So
I'll bite my tongue and play nice but my God, do you owe me one?
Yeah.
Look, we've had one of the original designers of the Miata on. So
we had two. Thanks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
We had two. Thanks. No, I'm thinking more of the Waffle House Princess T-shirt.
Oh,
because I am the princess brat. Okay, just
Waffle House. Didn't I send you a Waffle House T-shirt?
Yeah, but it's a regular Waffle House T-shirt. They have a pink one that actually has Waffle House Princess on it, and I'm really leaning. I'm really leaning into my role as the princess brat.
So, Dawn, this recording studio that you're in right now, that looks awfully sharp. Please tell us all about it.
Yes, This is my new ride. This is Sienna. Sienna is, and I'm going to get out because you guys have to see this. She is a Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy 2025. She is and the one thing I love is she's very retro. I was thinking of a Jeep, and I wanted a Jeep, and then I wanted a Mazda CX-90, but I literally walked. I was like, you know what? These prices are nuts. So I walked onto the Hyundai. A Hyundai, I don't know how do you pronounce it actually, lot, and walked straight over to this vehicle. Walked in, and I said, "This is it. This is the one." Hadn't even test drove it yet. I'm like, "This has got everything I want." It's not your gray. It's not white. It's not black. It's not, like rounded. Like you can see out the back window.
Yeah.
It's got 6-row seats. It's got 2 dual sunroofs. And the other ones also had some really weird, like the Mazda 6 CX-90. Everybody wants to do there, and I'll show you all real quick. The dash, they make it really short, but they also stick this thing, the monitor up to the dash where you can't reach it. They did such a smart thing in this Hyundai. They not only have it coupled with all of your instruments, like it's one long piece, but which made me think if something goes wrong, they just pull this thing out and put it back in. Because that was the other problem with some of these. They were so integrated that I can't imagine if something went wrong. And with electrical, something's going to go wrong with this car. I just know it. I mean, it's everything is electrical. Everything is digital, I should say. The other thing that they did smart was in the column, in the middle part, if y'all could see there, you have like regular toggles for everything, for media, for map, for search, for your regular radio, for your Sirius, all of the regular heating, cooling, that's all just touch buttons. So you don't have to go to your screen to do it. So they almost have and then everything is on your steering wheel. So you got 3 different ways you can do something. It's amazing.
If anyone is listening from Hyundai, we would welcome a sponsorship of a thing about cars.
Yes.
Yeah, we would actually.
Because I can also talk good stuff about Hyundai.
Yeah, I've never been in one. I never drove one. I never owned one. It was really hard moving away from the Mercedes, but those prices are stupid. So I guess they will not be sponsoring us. It's just, this car is so cool. I have double chargers. You can charge 2 phones at once. The other cool thing, and you'll appreciate this, Misty, when there's no place to put your purse, but look at this. There's a little cubby hole underneath here. You can put your purse, and it will be like flying all over the place. Somebody finally realized, it is genius. It's
genius level.
Genius.
Yes.
Don, as a resident Georgian and part-time redneck, is there a space for my sidearm?
You know what? I would say that there is a hidden compartment. I'm not kidding you. There is in the console, and I'll show you. So here's the console. You can actually take this out. It goes down. You can absolutely do that. Like there is whole, there's all this stuff. I keep pulling stuff out of here. Like you can go, it's as long, it goes from if I lay my hand down, it goes all the way up to the crook of my arm.
That's amazing.
Wow. Like that's how you could almost put like an entire shotgun in here. If it folds up a little bit.
Maybe a sawed-off shotgun. That's it.
Yeah, maybe. It's as long as my arm.
Just the one that breaks down and stores up into the stock, like the one my mom has.
Okay.
Oh, the other thing that was fascinating about this car, so there's this little compartment here that you open up and you stick your phone in it, and there is a UV light that comes on to absolutely get rid of all the germs on your phone.
Oh. Don, I have to tell you now about my little miniature countertop dishwasher. His name is Bob. He was built in France. We had to adjust his end tune because I was not having the French national anthem play when my dishes. But Bob also has the UV thing, so you can do like a waterless wash, and Bob is about so wide. I mean, he is just enough for 2 people max can live in a household with Bob. And
Misty.
So this whole UV thing, yes, we are so there.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. It wasn't a selling point, but it was certainly a feature. So let's talk about the engine. It's only a V4. It's only a 4, which kind of bummed me out a little bit because I've only ever driven 6s and 8s. The Mazda CX-90 did have an inline 6, and yet this is turbo. This is the top of the line, and it moves. I mean, and big wheels too. I think my wheels are 22 inches. So check out these wheels.
Look at that.
They're beautiful. They're not.
Those are some of the sexiest wheels I have seen in my life.
It's just so much fun. Oops, and I'm walking away, and you probably can't hear me. Because I've got you on my instrument on my car. Like I'm talking to you through my car. I also have Bose speakers. And that one for me was a huge selling point to have Bose. So I got Bose, I got the middle console, and then I got subwoofers. So
yes.
That's really cool. Let's see what else. All other white seats, heating, cooled in the front, heated in the back, all mechanic, heated in the front and the back. So not that lever thing that you just like break men don't get this, but we break our hands on trying to like squeeze it and move things around when you don't have mechanical seats. Let's see. Anything? Lots of cup holders. I mean, there's cup holders galore in the doors, in the seats, all over the place.
So that's perfect for like us neurospicy people that have to have our carbonated beverage, our warm beverage, and our water.
That's right.
Can we go back and talk about the squeezing and moving around part?
To be perfectly honest, you lost me at Bob is only this big. I'm close to having a stroke over the double entendres.
That was triple just for you because you haven't been here in a while, and I missed you, and I didn't have anyone to work off of. So it's your own damn fault. I love you.
There's probably things
that me all you want, babe.
We're just gonna have to talk about in the future because I'm learning and discovering new stuff about this car every day. Yeah. But it's really, her name is Sienna. If I didn't mention that, I haven't even taken all of the little rubbery tabs off of everything. So she's got she still has her covers on all the little different push button things. So yeah. Paid a lot of money for this vehicle. I mean, probably I went on Edmunds, got very close to what their suggestion is, but you have to feel for anybody trying to buy a car right now. They are expensive. I mean, I was wandered around Carfax lot for a very long time, or CarMax. Went on Carvana, went everywhere. I mean, cars are super expensive. I really have to give a shout out to anybody that needs a vehicle. It's tough.
So
took me a long time.
Would it be out of place to ask you how much you paid for Sienna?
No, I paid $48,000 for this vehicle. And then, even tax tag and title out the door, there are all these other fees. I got an interest rate of 4.74. I put a lot of money down on it, but I couldn't get less than that. Mazda is running a 1.9%, but their car was 5,000 to 8,000 more than this one. And the one thing that was really hard is that clearance for me is important, even when when the sunroof is closed. I like my hand to be like, if I can turn it on its side, to be above my head. I was like this in the Mazda, and that made me really nervous because I don't like to be that close up to the ceiling. So yeah, the cars are expensive, and that's the tough part about it.
I'm extremely happy for you, Dawn. This looks like a work of art.
And I am 100% with you on the head not being close to the ceiling. The only time that happens in my life is when I stand fully upright on my kitchen counters because I am the size of a coffee table. No, wait, hold on. What is it my best friend called me? Oh, that's right. Pocket-sized.
Yes, well,
I'm just changing my name to Polly.
I'm not Scandinavian, but I definitely am not your average woman, so I'm very tall. Anyway, yeah, it took some negotiating to get it where I wanted to, but I shout out to the McDonough Hyundai dealer. They were great. They worked with me. I had already sold Beastie, He went 3 weeks ago on a Friday because the transmission went, and then the catalytic converters, it wasn't going to pass emissions. So my mechanic bought my vehicle, gave me a very good deal. We went over, like, he's like, I'm going to have to do this, this, and this. So, it is what it is. It's different. I'm used to a huge vehicle. This is midsize, or as my husband calls it, her junior beastie. But bigger than as big as I think I need right now. So,
may I point out something, Mickey?
Yes.
3 weeks. Dawn decided she needed a new car. She did the research on a new car. She bought a new car. How long have we been talking about you buying a new car?
At least 18 months.
So let's move on to our next segment of the thing about cars.
18 months? Was that about right? I mean, we even had the confessional episode to where you were having impure thoughts about a Ford, and I had to say no.
Oh my, yeah. There was
actually, I think it's closer to 3 years because it was on my first episode on the show, Mickey.
Oh, wow.
That I remember Mickey bringing up looking for a new car.
So basically, as long as Dave and I have been here, at least.
Yeah.
So-
You have put more thought into this car than I put into coming out of the closet.
I'm pretty sure you put more thought into the car than I did my divorce.
And the mistake we're making here is I have not thought about the car at all. That's the problem. I've been working on so many other things. I'm not going to give you the laundry list.
You've just been having like serial panic attacks about the process of buying the car, not the actual car itself. Is that what you're telling us?
A little bit, yeah, because
a little bit.
Just hang on. Just don't get your underwear in a wad. All right, it's just
brave of you to assume I'm wearing some.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'll tell my wife. So the part of the issue here is I look at what's happening to Dawn's point. Everything is so damned expensive, and even though I'm reading some stuff that's saying that because no one's buying cars, we might see the cost of things come down in the car world. However, in the meantime, I look at rates that I can get from USAA for a used car, and I look at what's happening in the new car market, and either the new car market, the price tags are just too high, or I look at the used car market and the interest rates are too high. USAA wants over 10% for a used car loan. I'm not giving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not going to give
actually. Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you out. I went with USAA, and that's why the other reason I went with the new car is because I could get under 5%. I even thought of financing it myself through my 401k. I mean, that's because then I'd pay myself 4%. That's a thing that if anybody out there has a nice 401k, you can borrow your money from yourself and pay yourself back. The hard part is, everybody says don't touch your accountability. Exactly. Don't touch your 401k. Don't touch your 401k. Don't, blah, blah, blah. But and I I did not have a choice. It was going to be $10,000 into that SUV. I mean, it was going to be $7,000 to $8,000. And I have my own mechanic. He's amazing. He lets me buy parts off the internet. He's absolutely works with me. I trust him I knew it was going, and that transmission, it's going to be a great build. But then I had 2 catalytic converters, another $1,000 a piece. That now I'm up to $10,000. I just took that money and put it here. I mean, that's just what I had to do.
That was a smart decision, Don. So the Honda, in the meantime, just won't die, and that's okay as long as I can just do minor things to it and keep it on the road. I will wait until those prices come down or the interest rates come down. And
well, and to be honest, if you actually do buy something, we probably have to cancel it.
Probably.
What we're going to talk about then.
Yeah, that takes out at least 5 minutes of content on average per show.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, I think I ran my 1978 Toyota Corolla 3 quarts low on oil for like 4 years. As a person in my early 20s, it would not die. It sounded very much like a Singer sewing machine.
That's the hard part, is that unfortunately mine did, and yet he's been revived for lots of good karma. My mechanic just got married, baby on the way. His car was totaled when I rolled up and said, I think the transmission's going. And he was like,
We're losing you, Don.
can you hear me?
Barely.
Can you hear me?
Sort of, kinda.
Yeah. Okay.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Don't break
So-
up
me
with
now?
us, Dawn. Yeah.
Yeah, we got you now.
Oh.
So the transmission was going, and he said, "Anyway, we lost on." So there will come a day when I get on the show and I say to you guys, "You're not going to believe what just happened," and then we'll have to celebrate.
Gotcha.
So yeah. All right. So yeah, while Dawn's fixing her technical issues, we got some user mail to go through. Some user mail? That's not right. Listener mail.
Yeah.
But before we get into listener mail, something serious is happening, and that happened in the automotive world. And I don't know if we can all relate or have empathy for what's happened. But Mike Valentine, inventor of the Valentine radar detector, arguably the best radar detector in the world, formerly with Cincinnati Electronics and maker of the Escort, but then he spun off and did his own thing to make the Valentine, has unfortunately died. And this is a huge figure in the automotive world. I have a Valentine. It has saved my butt many, many times. So I just wanted to have a quick moment of silence for Mike. Okay, that's enough. And
no dead air. So to speak.
No dead air, right. Well, the funny thing is that the editing process is probably going to kill that moment of silence anyway.
And if you have auto silence skip on your player,
yeah, exactly. So yeah, Mike was just huge, and I he keeps updating his or at least the company kept updating the way they did radar detection, and they've even integrated it with an app and done a number of things with the technology, and it's just really amazing stuff. So hats off for Mike and his family and his company. I hope they're all recovering through their grief. Is that the right way to say it? I hope they're all handling their grief okay. And yes, so yes, Misty.
Point, honey, Mickey, my very favorite Mickey. This is the South. We do not use.
This is the South. You're not.
Point of order. I live in the province of South Holland, so you can just bite my butt. Love you. Mwah. But this is the South. We do not use the D word, honey. We say passed away or passed on.
See, I think that needs to change.
It does not need to change. It does not need to change because that is just a little bit of respect that we can give to those of the to those that have passed on and to their families as well. Because the D word is a little brutal, kind of like Dave.
Right, he's gone on to. He's leapt the great radar gun in the sky.
He's taken the exit to the eternal Bucky's.
All right. Well, changing the subject, the air cooler on the seat will blow your butt off. Like I'm pushing buttons. Hopefully, you guys can hear me again. I'm like, oh, hello there. You're my new best friend.
So this is so now we know why Dawn is doing the entire episode from the Cedar Verde Santa Fe.
Santa Fe. Oh my goodness, this is very pleasant.
Oh yeah.
I would like to point out the double entendres are supposed to be Misty's a my gag.
Right.
Well, I'm just pushing buttons, and I'm like, geez, wow. Okay, we're gonna slow that one down. Hello there.
At least you discovered it in your driveway. The way you're reacting, you'd probably hit a tree.
I know. Chris said this yesterday. We went to the Georgia State game, and he's like, "Here, let me try the air cool." And he was like, "Huh, that's pretty powerful." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I'll tell you later." I was like,
This is a reaction that some people usually reserve for toilets in Japan.
Exactly.
What, does it have a massage function?
You know what? It does not, but the next one up, what's it called? The Palisades? That thing does. I don't know how. I think people will fall asleep. I am not kidding you. I think people will fall asleep. And
I don't think falling asleep is what's going to happen, but I do see distracted driving.
Opposite. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not safe driving. Let's put it that way. But I drove this one. I was really pleased with it. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go drive the Palisades. And I was like, okay, I'm going to upgrade that later down the road. But yeah, I don't know. Hyundai's got something going on here.
Yeah.
It's
That's
pretty
what
impressive.
she said.
Pretty impressive.
All right. So
I think, Mickey, I think we're calling this episode "Nothing But Double Entendres."
Nothing but double entendres.
This is totally, the thing about cars after dark. This is the Skinamax version of,
Right.
of the thing about cars.
What's between you and your car seat?
Nice, cool air.
All right. I've got a little bit of user mail. God, I did it again. Listener mail.
Mm-hmm.
They can use this if they want to.
Quick. There's just a little bit.
It's been a while.
And a couple people wrote in when we did the episode on, I don't know if you remember that mystery blue powder that was accumulating on my friend Jerry's car. And he sent us pictures in and no one could identify it. No one could figure out what it was. I even posted it on Reddit and no one knew what it was. And some people wrote in and said, I have the same thing. Have you found any results? Nope. So we've got a couple other people here who have said they have this blue indigo powder and couldn't find out what was happening.
Can you remind us of where on the vehicle it was accumulated?
It's different places. It was usually in a seam between like a door panel and a quarter panel. And it doesn't matter left or right side. This person found it on the trunk of her car. So let me read.
Like on the outside, like on the top of like on the bodywork, or in between, like where rubber seals are. Because I don't think I was present for this episode.
Yeah, you may not have been. But it's not where rubber seals are, and it's on the outside of the car. Eileen Anderson wrote. She said, someone told me to Facebook you guys, if you might know, about an issue she had with her car. On her driver's side, the front and rear door had blue indigo powder on it twice, once at a friend's house and 2 days later at the grocery store. I was told by 2 separate mechanics that it sounds like she's being tagged, or that she's been tagged. Do you know what this powder means? It reminds me of dust. It's indigo blue dust, and it looks like someone has used a blush brush to put it on.
I wonder if it's like the turtles. I wonder if not the ducks on the
Don,
Jeeps.
you break it up again.
Like, is it the same? Shoot. Hold on.
That came through perfectly.
Yeah, of course.
All right, how's this? Is that better?
That's better.
Yeah, I wonder if it's like the ducks on the Jeeps. Is it something is it the same vehicle? Is it same brand?
There's no commonality across anything like that here. She says she's already cleaned it off both times. She just wiped it off. I've already talked to 2 different mechanics. Both of them told me that there's nothing on that could damage the paint. So she says, which I'm really stupid and don't know much about cars, but I don't know maybe if our weather in the black car could have something to do with it. I've already told it it's been tagged, so I'm curious, being cautious when I'm getting out of the car and watching people very closely at home. So that's one person. That's Eileen Anderson. And Allie O'Malley, similar thing. She's like, it was by her door handle, around her trunk handle area, and kind of around the back. She said she saw a distinct fingerprint in the midst of it all too, like it was blue fingerprint powder. And we have not heard anything definite. I don't think it's a tagging thing, because we see it on so many different people. And if you were going to tag a car, why would you do it in such a haphazard way?
And tagging for what? For theft or for just being funny?
No, theft.
Or they're just trying to see that, if somebody has been touching the car since, kind of like there was a whole thing here a couple of years ago about, because we don't have mailboxes, we have the mail slots. That's not an innuendo or a euphemism. Thanks. In our doors, most houses have them, apartments don't, but houses have them. And, the police were telling people, have somebody stop by your house when you go on vacation, because we usually go on vacation for 2 to 3 weeks, because people come by and stick like a soda bottle in your mail slot, also not a euphemism. So you want people to come and remove that, still not a euphemism, so people don't break into your house.
Right.
All right, next item. Brenda Maggs Walsh wrote to us earlier this year. She says she just heard us talking about AAA here in Athens last summer. An 82-year-old lady called her paid for AAA service for assistance. Every few hours, they would say, just 1 hour more, until it was 9 hours later. This lady had waited in 90-degree plus heat. She wouldn't leave her car because she was afraid they would come and leave. Whereas Progressive charges $5 a year towing for just a towing supplement package on top of insurance, right? So $5 a year extra for a towing supplement package, and they always arrive in 30 minutes, which is professional and nice. She says it was the same guy for the last 15 years. So one, how many times has she had her car towed in 15 years is one question to come.
Yeah.
But I think she's got a point. I mean, I've called AAA before. It's always the minimum amount of time I've ever waited for AAA was 2 hours. And for simple stuff like a jumper or something like that. Yeah.
And I've never had that problem. I've never, I probably only between both our cars only have called AAA like once every 3 years. But usually they've been here within like 20 minutes. On the other hand, I also live in the city where, there's probably more there's just more quantity but I live in the city of Atlanta. They've got to think AAA is pretty freaking busy every hour of the day here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
my mother-in-law used it a couple months ago because her battery was totally dead. Wouldn't take a jump start, and they actually, as part of the plan, replaced the battery for free. They had it on their service vehicle, and she, got a new battery and was out on the road, within an hour of calling them. So yeah,
I'm sure
your mileage
AAA
may vary.
Yep, I've waited 4 hours. I actually had to have my sister-in-law, I was in Tucker, come and sit with me. The convertible cooling system went, and 4 hours, and having kept calling USA Towing, where's the person? And they actually canceled after 2 hours, they canceled the first tow and had to reset for another tow.
So
because
I think part of the issue is that she was in Athens, and AAA being who they are, probably only staff for major metropolitan areas. Getting all the way out to Athens is going to be a challenge. That's my guess.
I disagree. Athens is a major university town.
Yeah.
I'm pardon my French, pardon my Klatchian, pardon my Ukrainian, whatever. That's bullshit. Athens is a significant town, and it is close enough to Atlanta to not be, I'm sorry. No, I disagree. And if that's their excuse, well, they can just bite my extremely broad white southern butt.
Let's test this. Misty, call 8 AAA. See how long it takes to get to you.
It's going to be more than 9 hours.
It's
going to be more than 9 hours.
That it was just so many accidents that there were not enough tow trucks for all of the accidents that particular afternoon.
Yeah.
I had left the office at 5, and I was like, oh, I'm going to be sitting in traffic. And then all of a sudden I started to see my heat thermometer go up, and I'm like, oh, something's really bad here. So I pulled over. I got myself off the road. I got myself to a gas station. I was calling around to find a mechanic, but I called my mechanic. He's like, no, you're going to have to tow that car. And so called, and they just said it was so many accidents. And truly, I do not go to my office any day without seeing an accident. We're talking 4 days a week. I see an accident either coming or going every single day.
That does sound rational for Atlanta.
Yeah. So here's the other thought I had is that not only is Athens way out there, but AAA is shared by everybody who needs it. And I honestly don't know how many trucks they have in service in any given amount of time. Whereas if you do what Brenda says and add the towing supplement package to your insurance, they're not calling AAA when you need a tow. They're calling private people who have trucks so they can come right away. And that's, I think, the difference that Brenda's getting at. To add the towing supplement to your car, you don't have to wait on AAA if you need a tow.
But I'm confused because I would have thought that especially out in the quote unquote hinterlands, which Athens is absolutely not, you would have your private people that were, like contracted to Progressive. Yeah, basically, because it's just not possible for AAA to have a quote unquote office and official place, in every podunk town. That there's no way in hell they'll have one in Gainesville, Flowery Branch, and Oakwood.
Look, I'm just reading what Brenda said. Yeah. What do you think the odds are that we can get someone from AAA to tell us why an old lady had to wait 9 hours in 90-degree heat? What's the reason for that?
I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the actual answer, which is we suck and we're sorry, not sorry. But it's just going to be a PR spin. I don't know why, and an elderly woman had to wait 9 hours and 90+ degrees. But I think personally, we should publicize this more because this is absolute crap customer service. And what gets on Misty's toes more than a Ford? Crap customer service.
So AAA, we're looking for sponsors if you're looking for a sponsorship opportunity.
because this show is certainly a selling point for them.
Right. Well,
Woohoo!
we're just honest. We're honest people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got a question. To take the tape off, or take the protective tape off of these instruments, or not to take the protective tape off?
Take it off because it's going to get crappy and scummy and it's going to look bad, and then you're going to take it off and then you're going to have paranoid delusions that you're scratching everything. So just go ahead and take it off.
Yeah.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. And there's no sense in prolonging the agony.
I wait until the stuff starts flaking on the corners and then I pull it off.
I did that on the Mercedes convertible, and in the back, I didn't actually realize there was protective covering. There's these latches in the back for the convertible top, and I didn't. And when it did turn yellowy and yucky, it messed up the metal. Now this stuff isn't this. Most of this is the glass is not metal. It's the surface of whatever digits there. All the digital stuff. But yeah, when it starts getting yellow, it can start sticking to the thing. So just wanted to see what everybody else's experience was.
Yeah, but rip the Band-Aid.
Yep.
All right. Next question from our friend Robert Drake. He says, here's a question for you. You have to actually drive it in Atlanta traffic or Boston traffic. Would you rather have a Saleen Mustang or a Ford 40 GT?
I think we've already had
We've
this
done that
question,
one.
and there was a significant rant from my side. You just want to revisit that rant to where
Did we do
I'm
this one
telling
already?
you, yes, where I told you I
All
would
right.
rather walk
This is where I'm muting.
Friday
I'm muting-
afternoon.
I'm muting Misty so the rest of us can answer the question.
Poor Misty. Tell me what were the options again? A Mustang or what?
Misty's not muted, but she's flipping me off.
The options were shit and more shit, Dawn.
Tim is hiding in the. He got out of the room.
Tim has run away.
Tim has run away.
Yes, you have
Everybody run away,
Yes.
away.
Yes, we do not revisit past rants, Mickey.
Have we done this before?
Yes, I believe this rant was like the second Saturday in June.
Oh, my bad. Okay, then never mind. We don't have to do that. All right, so that's it for our listener questions then, and that's all I've had on our agenda today. Dawn, are you discovering still new things about?
I am. I'm taking Yes, I'm taking off the little plastic things as we speak and ripping the Band-Aid off. Woo!
Well, I'm looking forward to. Tim, are you in the closet or is that outside the door? Come back, Tim.
Tim, you can come out of the closet. 2/5 of us already are.
40% of the show.
I'm out. Sort of. I don't have much to declare, but
for me, September 23rd was, bisexual visibility day. So I had like a, -1 modifier on all of my stealth rolls, which was kind of shit because I was trying to sneak up on people and it just didn't happen.
Right. So what can we talk about while Tim's out of the room? Got to come back and do some surgery to this episode later anyway. So
if you remove any of my rants, I will cry.
I'm not going to remove any.
I will burst into
some of the most entertaining part of the show.
I will just burst.
Tim found his courage. He's returning to the microphone.
Oh, you guys are so mean.
Sorry, man.
So yeah, Dawn. Jeez, I'm completely derailed now. Tim, let's wrap the episode. What's the answer to that trivia question?
Okay, let's take it from the top. Many late model Chrysler Dodge / Jeep vehicles have a safe hold feature. What is that? Is it A, a compartment in the floor behind the driver's seat for securing valuables, including handguns? B, an electric parking brake automatically engages if the computer decides the vehicle is unattended and at risk of rolling away? C, a feature typically known as hill assist. This feature keeps the vehicle from rolling backwards while the car is on a hill and the driver is moving their foot from the brake to the throttle pedal. D, a dash light and warning chime will sound if at least one of the driver's hands is not exerting at least 10 kilograms, that's 22 pounds for us in America, of grip strength on the steering wheel. So Misty, what do you think that might be?
Hill assist.
Gotcha. Dawn, owner of the newest vehicle.
Hill assist. I just was in a Jeep, so I'm going to say hill assist.
Okay. Dave?
Safe holds are actually something in the investment community. Those are the only ones I know. I'm going with Misty and Dawn on this one because I have no clue.
All right. And Mickey, do you think this is a wrestling hold or what?
Oh my God. Let's see. Hill assist does make sense, but what was the last one? The grip strength? No, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And the what was option B?
That is the electronic parking brake automatically engaging.
See, that does make some logical sense as well. But I think that's not it for a very morbid reason. I'm going to go with the hill assist.
Okay. The answer actually is B. The electric parking brake
Oh!
automatically engages if the computer decides the vehicle is unattended and at risk of rolling away. And the
Now,
conditions that must be met are if the automatic transmission is not in park, the seatbelt is unbuckled, the driver's door is open, the vehicle is at a standstill, and there is no attempt to press the brake pedal or accelerator pedal. Then the parking brake will automatically engage to prevent the vehicle from rolling. And I remember, I think about 5 years ago, wasn't there like a Hollywood actor who was
No, do not,
crushed
because
by his own vehicle?
yeah, because he played Chekhov in the new Star Trek movie, and he also played Odd Thomas in the Odd Thomas movie. And there's that plot twist at the end that I know about because I've read the book. So I'm like I'm like ugly crying.
Yeah, what was that
into
guy's
my
name? Yeah. Anton something.
Okay.
Yelchin.
We can call it the Anton feature going forward.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
And I
That's
can semi-relate to this. Back in my college days, my friend Sterling, who was always in his life owned Porsche 914s, had to drive his parents' minivan because it was going to be our transportation for a group event we were going to, and he hopped out of the vehicle and had left it in drive because, in a Porsche, you just leave it in gear and you don't need to worry about setting the parking brake, and hopped out and the vehicle started rolling. And I had to yell at him that, the vehicle was starting to roll down the hill. He had to jump back in and remember how to properly actuate a parking brake and an automatic transmission park function. So
I just found my parking brake, so I'll find out if that's a feature. I will find out if that's a feature on this vehicle. Interesting. I thought that was on a lot of newer vehicles. So
Don, if you hit the parking brake, do people with foot fetishes start moaning in the back seat?
No, not that I know of.
Try one of the buttons.
Is that one of the new features of the Hyundai Santa Fe?
I wonder. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at my book because I have, every time I've been in a Jeep, I've noticed how everything goes to park really fast. Like as soon as you hit the full parking brake, it just turned out was interesting. But I didn't think I've noticed that on every new vehicle that I've driven lately. Like in the Tahoe, what else have I? The Ford Expedition, the Explorer, a Toyota vehicle, all of them, the parking brake automatically goes on or off when you're engaging the car. There's no other place to put it. This one has a different parking brake area, so I'm gonna have to test it out and see what the deal is.
Okay.
So, yeah. Good question.
All right. Thanks, you guys. It is very good to see all of you again, and I'm looking forward to doing this soon. We have a couple of guests that I'm lining up. One of them, well, I'll just inform you guys online. I haven't really gotten the signatures down yet. So thank you again to our listeners who joined us for our madness, and we value your suggestions and comments. It's easier to get us via Facebook and LinkedIn these days. So please do send in your questions and your comments and your feedback, and thanks for being part of the Thing About Cars family. So we will see you again with another episode in roughly a week. Some exciting stuff on deck for us. Everybody be safe out there. We'll see you soon.
See y'all.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Love y'all. Bye.
And then my new Hyundai Santa Fe.
Congratulations again, Don.